Our last task for the Hyper-V series of videos will be to install Windows Server 2022. And here are the tasks that I would like us to accomplish. So first, we will create a new virtual machine and we will call it DC-01. We will change the network adapter to be private switch. We'll install Windows Server 2022 on the virtual machine, change the time zone if needed, enable the remote desktop connection, and we'll change the IP address to have the following IP scheme. So we want the IP address to be 172.20.20.20. The subnet mask is going to be 255.255.255.0. The gateway is going to be 172.20.20.254. And the preferred DNS server is going to be 172.20.20.20. And we're going to change the computer name to be DC-01. So, to begin, let's create another virtual machine for Windows Server 2022. Similar to what we did for OPNsense, I'll right-click on Win11-Hyper-V and then click New, Virtual Machine. I'll click Next. For the name, we'll call it DC-01. And we'll leave the default storage location. I'll choose Generation 2 and click Next. For RAM, I'll leave it at 4096 megabytes of RAM. I'll leave the option checked to use dynamic memory for this virtual machine. For networking, I'll select private switch and then click Next. For the hard drive, I'll change the size to be 60 gigabytes and then I'll click on Next. I'll select Install an operating system from a bootable image file, then click Browse, go to my Downloads folder, and then I'll select my Windows Server 2022 ISO file and then click Open. I'll click Next, then Finish, and wait for Hyper-V to build my virtual machine. I'll right-click on my newly created virtual machine, then I'll choose Connect to open the virtual machine connection window, then I'll click Start and wait for the Windows to boot. You'll get this message to press any key to boot from CD or DVD. This option goes by pretty quick, so it can easily be missed. Ensure that you're clicking inside of the virtual machine window when you're pressing your key, or else your host computer will register the key press and not your virtual machine. So you could see I click into my virtual machine window, then I press my spacebar key, and I'm now loading Windows. Once we get to the setup screen, I'll quickly go through the installation process. And I'll fast forward a bit to when the installation is completed. Once the installation is completed, it will reboot automatically, or you could click Restart Now if you don't want to wait. Once the reboot is done, you're asked to create a new password, and you can see that the username administrator is grayed out and you cannot change it. I'll create a new password for my administrator account. I will create a password domcontrol2024 with a capital D and a capital C with an exclamation mark at the end. And once I'm done with my password, I'll click on Finish. And once the login screen comes up, I'll sign in using my DOM control password. Next, I'll click on Local Server, and we want to change a few things here. So first thing I will change is going to be the time zone. It's currently set to Pacific time, but I'm in Eastern Standard Time, so I will make that change. This might be different for you if you're in a different country or region. Next, I'll change the IP address to be 172.20.20.20 for the IP address, and 255.255.255.0 for the subnet mask, and 172.20.20.254 for the default gateway. For the preferred DNS server, I'll use 172.20.20.20, which is the IP address for this server because we will be promoting this server to be a domain controller. Then I'll click OK and then Close. Next, I'll enable Remote Desktop, so I can remote into this server to manage it remotely. And lastly, I'll change our computer name. I'll change it to be DC-01. I'll click OK. Then click OK, and I'll get this message saying that we need to restart our computer for the change to take effect. I'll click OK, and then close the System Properties windows, and then click Restart Now. Once Windows completes the reboot, we'll sign in again and wait for Server Manager to open. Then we'll click on Local Server, and we can see all of the changes that we made survive the reboot. Okay, so this was the last video regarding the virtualization setup. We've tried VirtualBox, VMware Workstation, and now Microsoft Hyper-V. And you can see the difference between these different platforms. So going forward from here, you can choose whichever one you like. Now, in future videos, I will be using VMware Workstation to build all my virtual machines because that's the one that I'm mostly familiar with. But you could choose VirtualBox or Hyper-V if you prefer those platforms. It really doesn't matter which one you choose because they all really do the same thing. And in the next video, we will be building our first domain controller. So I will see you in those videos. Thank you very much for watching. If you find the information helpful, please feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel for future videos. Thank you.